Welcome, Panther Nation, to the pregame show with Coach Lackey and Joe Roberts. Welcome, Coach.
Hey, thanks, Joe.
All right, it's a brand new football season.
Got a new one. We've
put last year behind us, and we're ready to kick off, and we've got some really cool things coming up this season, Coach. You are almost with almost a brand new team this year.
Yeah, we have a lot of young faces, a few new players, and just a couple of the old. So.
Yeah, you had a bunch of seniors last year, a bunch of contributors on both sides of the ball. This year, it seems like most of the team, well, not most, I guess that's not a very fair system. You have a lot of sophomores that you're looking at.
Yeah, we have, there's some younger guys that have to step up. Frankie Mares is playing quarterback for us, and he's going to be a big contributor. Cade Carter, Julian Batiste, Connor Giese. There's some pretty good athletes and some good kids, good football players, and they got a shot to play on Friday nights.
So, Coach, one of the things that I always wanted to ask you about is the long game, right? It seemed like a lot of people were playing checkers and you were playing chess. A lot of these guys that you're asking to contribute this year, you kept them all together on the freshman team last year and didn't really pull them up a bunch on JV. I mean, you did some, but right. they mainly stayed together, and now hoping that that's going to pay off this year.
Yeah, I mean, we like when you come into a new situation, you're trying to build a program from the ground up. So that's all the way from little league, running our plays, running our defense, through middle school, and then freshmen. We feel like when we have a good group of freshmen, if we don't have to use them that year, and they get another year of high school and acclimation and all staying together, then we think that's probably best for us. So yeah, we're definitely looking at the big picture, but we're also focusing on the now and how can we win football games now. So.
Well, you had a pretty good quarterback last year, Gavin Fontenot, and you're having to replace him. He was, I use this word probably ad nauseum. He was a giant, really tall kid, very athletic, and now you have Frankie Mares coming in, really smart kid, from what I understand. Mm-hmm. How is the offense going to look different with him at the helm?
As far as scheme goes, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of change. But just the styles of play that they bring, I think Frankie maybe throws the ball a little bit better, reads a little bit better, but obviously he didn't have the size. So we're going to have to get him out of the pocket a little bit more, and then some quick game stuff. We're going to have to try to cut some of those big D linemen. But he runs the ball really well. I think he, on his reads, as far as like reading the defensive end on his own read, I think he does that really, really well. And so he probably won't be quite as more downhill. He's a little shiftier, maybe a little bit more speed. So it'd be a good fit this year.
Okay. So one of the big question marks that you perhaps had is how are you going to take the heat off such a young quarterback? And maybe the question is answered with number 22.
Yeah, we're going to rely on Alex Valtieri real heavily. And then just because he's a senior, he's a tough kid, he's a strong kid. But, within our offense, we've really tried to simplify it, formations and plays, and how we get those play calls in. And so we really want to we try to make it as simple as possible so we can play fast and everybody knows what to do.
I think maybe one of the hallmarks that you talked about earlier, and we've had these little conversations here and there, is the weight room. Right. And your summer strength and conditioning program, it was as big as we've had in a good long while.
Yeah, we had a great turnout in the summer. That first year was a little shaky, I think, mm-hmm. But once we told everybody our expectations and what we needed and how we were going to change it, and really our strength and conditioning program is one of the best I've seen. I mean, I've been all over, big schools, small schools, all over Texas, been to multiple colleges, and really what we have here is special. I mean, the knowledge and the equipment that we have, it may not be always the prettiest, mm-hmm. but there's enough to get the job done, and they've really bought in. I mean, I think we average about 40 kids, just high school in the summer of boys, mm-hmm. And we had a good turnout with the girls and middle school as well. But yeah, they really committed to that, and I think that's going to pay dividends for us later on.
All right, Coach, I don't want to paint you into a corner, but your specialty seems to be the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So who's going to be someone that you're looking at to step up big time to replace number 8 Colby Ewing, who was just all
Right.
over the place
Yeah,
last year?
Colby was an amazing linebacker and would throw his body into anything we asked him to. So we moved Cade Jordan back to that Mike linebacker, and he's an upperclassman. Feel like he's gonna do good things for us. And then up front, we're really gonna have a rotation of D linemen that we're gonna try to keep fresh. But I really expect Kate Carter to have some big things happen for him up front. In the back end, you have Tony Denman and Wycliffe, who are two of our probably more athletic, speedier guys. So I think they'll be able to cover a lot of ground and protect the back end.
Well, Coach, I think that was one of the things that most people noticed, that Liberty didn't have as much speed the last couple of years, and perhaps maybe this year, maybe the speed is poking its head through the shadows.
Yeah, I mean, it's all relative, we go in scrimmage-based city and we don't have the speed they have.
Right.
We play hard and it seemed like we were maybe a little speedier than them. So it really depends on who you're talking to. I mean, our overall team speed is not, I would say, is pretty average for the size of school we have. But as you know, we're not in an average district.
We are not.
We have 4 teams in the top 15 and 4A in our district. So it's going to be a tough road to hoe. But I think we're prepared. We're mentally and physically prepared, and hopefully get a couple more wins from those close games that we did last year.
It's all about the program building, and right now you're doing a great job with that. Coach, my understanding at the board meeting this week, the athletic portion of our school got a nice little donation from First Liberty.
Yeah, thank you, First Liberty Bank. They provide in a big way. We're always looking at ways to upgrade our facilities. And there's kind of been a dream, I think, of having indoor batting cages or pitching areas, and so they donated a large sum of money to the athletic department in Liberty ISD, and we're looking forward to having that, and it gives us somewhere for the baseball guys to go that's on campus, and then somewhere for those softball and baseball guys and girls to go in inclement weather, or if it's raining, lightning, all that type of thing.
All right, last thing, Coach, and I'll let you go because I know your time is precious. Cold Spring, first game of the season. What are we going to see here in a few minutes when the game kicks off?
Cold Spring is a really talented team. They brought back their quarterback. I don't know if you remember him last year, but
I definitely remember him.
There's multiple times where you feel like you're about to get a sack, and he somehow he avoids everybody, runs around for about 10 minutes and scores. So he's very, very athletic. They're still running a similar offense. They run the slot T, so you're going to see them real run heavy. And then we're just going to try to take advantage of some of our speed and some areas that we think that we will have an edge in. So that's what you can expect.
All right, Coach. I'm watching the game. I'm a fan of the Liberty Panthers. What's the message that I should get from head coach Chris Lackey?
Great attitude and great effort.
Awesome.
I mean, that's all we talk about that. I mean, it's really, we're starting to brand that everywhere in athletics. The volleyball girls, I think they have attitude and effort on their shirt. But it really makes a big difference. If you can have a great attitude and you can have great effort, sometimes you you can overcome mistakes, or not running a play right, or making the wrong read. And so with those things, we really feel like that gives us the best chance to succeed.
All right, you've been watching the pregame show with Liberty Athletic Director and Head Coach Chris Lackey. Coming up next, Cold Spring versus Liberty. We'll see you at halftime.